As the final lights dimmed on Jin's emotional last performance in Amsterdam, the eldest BTS member took a deep bow, one that seemed to carry not only gratitude, but also exhaustion. After a whirlwind global tour filled with back-to-back performances, emotional reunions, and thousands of screaming fans, Jin BTS has officially announced that he will be taking a much-needed break from the spotlight. This decision comes after months of non-stop travel and performances, marking Jin's official return to the stage following his military discharge. From Seoul to Los Angeles, London to Berlin, and finally Amsterdam, Jin poured his energy into every moment, reminding the world why he has remained an iconic figure in the K-pop scene. But behind the scenes, the toll has been immense. After the tour ends, I'm planning to take some time off, Jin said during a quiet moment on stage in Amsterdam. My body is tired, and my heart is full. I want to rest and think about everything that's happened, because this comeback was more than just music. It was a reunion. Sources close to Jin have confirmed that this break isn't indefinite, but it's essential. The physical demands of a full-length global tour, combined with emotional pressures and the personal transition of returning from military service, have left the artist needing rest, not just physically, but emotionally. Fans, far from upset, have responded with overwhelming support. Messages tagged with #RestWellJin and #YouDeserveItJin flooded social media just hours after the announcement, with many armies expressing both admiration and concern for their beloved artist. He gave us everything on this tour, one fan posted. Now it's our turn to give him space and peace. The tour, unofficially dubbed The Return of the Astronaut, was filled with memorable moments. Jin delivered haunting vocals, impromptu fan interactions, and even personal stories that left crowds in tears. But even the strongest performers reach their limits. Industry professionals agree that Jin's decision is both wise and necessary. In today's entertainment landscape, artists who take care of their mental and physical health set a strong example, said Lee Hyunwoo, a Seoul-based talent manager. Jin is showing that it's okay to press pause, not as weakness, but as strength. As for what's next, Jin has hinted that after his break, he will begin working on new music, though with no strict timeline. For now, he will return to Korea to rest, reunite with family, and enjoy the quiet moments that fame rarely affords. In the meantime, armies across the globe are reflecting on the unforgettable experience of Jin's return. The Amsterdam finale wasn't just the end of a tour. It was a gentle reminder that even superstars need time to breathe, and if anyone's earned it, it's Jin. Just 2 days before his Amsterdam finale, Jin delivered a breathtaking second-night performance at the O2 in London that many fans are already calling legendary. The night opened with the astronaut during soundcheck, a moment so intimate and raw that it left fans in tears even before the official concert began. The entire venue erupted in unified harmony as armies sang along to Dynamite, Spring Day, Microcosmos, and Butter, creating a sea of voices that overwhelmed even Jin himself. Fan-captured footage shows the BTS vocalist pausing mid-song, visibly emotional, as he looked out at the glowing ocean of purple lights. I wasn't sure I'd be able to do this again, Jin admitted to the crowd, voice trembling. But because of you, I did. That night wasn't just another stop on the tour, it was healing. For Jin, for the fans, for everyone who had waited nearly 2 years to see him on stage again. By the time Jin stepped off the stage in Amsterdam on August 10th, his smile seemed both full and fragile. It wasn't just the end of a concert. It was the end of a journey that began the moment he saluted the South Korean flag and stepped into military life. This tour was his statement, not just that he had returned, but that he still belongs here. Backstage sources say that after the final bow in Amsterdam, Jin hugged every crew member personally and thanked them for their support. He was quiet, one staff member shared anonymously. He smiled a lot, but he looked like someone who finally allowed himself to exhale. While Jin hasn't laid out specific plans beyond rest, Big Hit Music confirmed that he'll be staying in Korea for the foreseeable future, focusing on his health and personal time. There is no new album on the immediate calendar, something fans are encouraging rather than lamenting. He's given us 2 incredible solo albums already, a Korean army posted. He owes us nothing. We just want him to be okay. Jin himself posted a brief message on Weverse after the tour's end. Thank you for waiting. Thank you for staying. I'll see you soon, but for now, I'll rest. I love you. Though Jin's solo era has paused, its echo continues. The Run Seokjin EP tour wasn't just a return, it was a reclamation. From standing alone in massive stadiums to serenading thousands with a single note, Jin proved that even without the other 6 BTS members beside him, his presence is powerful enough to fill an entire world. And as armies around the globe put away their concert banners and light sticks, one message continues to trend across all platforms. Rest well, Jin. We'll be right here when you're ready. While the dazzling lights of London were fixated on Kim Seokjin's second solo concert night, a quiet and almost haunting stillness settled around a certain place in Seoul. Park Jimin, known for his boundless energy and tender soul, was nowhere near the roaring crowd, the confetti, or the cheers that echoed through the O2 Arena. Instead, he was seen strolling quietly through the familiar streets of his hometown, almost as if escaping the noise, the flash, and the ache of not being there beside his Hyung. This absence wasn't just physical, it reverberated emotionally across fan communities worldwide. Armies who had grown accustomed to seeing Jin and Jimin's unspoken connection on stage were left with a hollow question. Why wasn't Jimin there for Jin's milestone moment? Was there something deeper beneath this unexpected distance? In Korea, Jimin was captured by locals and a few eagle-eyed fans enjoying a serene, almost nostalgic vacation, visiting the Han River, sipping coffee in hidden cafes, and even pausing for long moments by the ocean in Busan. But his smile didn't quite reach his eyes. There was a sadness, a reflective calm that clashed with the fiery joy erupting across the globe as Jin's voice filled the London night. And when Jin sang Spring Day, the lyrics that once felt warm became haunting. Fans couldn't help but think of Jimin. Speculation began flooding the internet. Was Jimin staying behind to honor a silent promise, to reflect, or to grieve something unseen? Was he perhaps dealing with something personal, something so heavy it couldn't be carried across continents? Some fans recalled Jin's final words during the encore. "I miss someone tonight. I hope they know that." Was that for Jimin? Bang Si-hyuk, watching from a VIP seat on the second night, was said to have turned to his assistant with an unreadable expression when Jin sang Microcosmos, eyes gleaming with something unspoken. It was as if Jin wasn't just performing for the crowd, but for someone who should have been there. And maybe Bang PD-nim knew exactly who that someone was. The contrast between Jimin's peaceful isolation in Korea and Jin's emotional crescendo in London painted a bittersweet image. Two souls once standing side by side, now separated by choice or circumstance. Fans were left to wonder if this moment was temporary, or if it signaled something deeper, a shift in their unshakable bond. Whatever the truth is, one thing remains clear. Jimin's silence echoes just as loudly as Jin's song. And in that space between the notes, between two continents, a story is unfolding. One that armies can feel but may never fully understand. As the world celebrated Jin's powerful and emotional second-day concert in London, a curious silence surrounded Jimin's whereabouts. Unlike his fellow members who were spotted sending support in various ways, Jimin remained unseen, unheard, and mysteriously distant. Yet, his absence did not go unnoticed. It became a quiet echo that resonated deeply within the hearts of armies. Jimin, known for his deep emotional intelligence and his unwavering support for the members, might have chosen solitude as his form of expression. As he stayed back in Korea, quietly enjoying his personal time, fans couldn't help but wonder if his silence was louder than any applause, more meaningful than any public gesture. His moments of reflection, away from the spotlight, told a story of silent support, emotional rest, and unspoken brotherhood. While Jin shone like a supernova on the grand stage of London, Jimin perhaps found his own light among the quiet breeze, the calm of the ocean, or the hills of Korea, watching from afar, proud, emotional, and connected not by distance but by heart. In the end, the love between BTS members is never measured by physical presence alone, but by the bond that transcends miles, stages, and applause. Jimin's absence was not a lack of support. It was a different kind of tribute. Quiet, respectful, eternal.